Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again, and it's time for the weekend banger. It's time for the weekend banger, y'all. That's a lot. It's time for the weekend banger, man. It's time for the weekend banger, and I got one. I keep a banger at all times. But like I always say before I start these videos off, though, man, I have no problem delivering this content to everybody that's out there working hard, working a 9 to 5. Everybody that's out there with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I make sure y'all got something to watch in the mornings, man. I promise y'all, it's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I only ask for one thing in the process, and that's for y'all to just stay out the way, man. That's what we doing, man. Like, we have to turn our life into staying out the way, man. Like, you know, staying out the way basically means you're not getting in trouble. You're not doing no crime. You're not trying to leave your family, man. You got to turn your life around to that. It just makes more sense. If you're going to be somebody out here just running around, just being a hooligan, breaking the law, doing all type of crazy stuff, you already know where it's going to land you to, man. You already know where your landing stop is going to be. Prison, man. So if you someone that want to experience that, because it straightened me out. You know what I mean? It straightens the good ones out. You know, you go somewhere you're supposed to be, you learn from that, and you come home better. So it helps a lot of guys, but a lot of guys it don't help. So if you want to go through that experience just to be a maniac, man, that's on you, man, because that's what prison has in there. All maniacs, man. I'm trying to save y'all from that, man. Everybody right now that's out here, man, you out here with your family, you able to do what you want. Let's keep it that way. But you're not going to keep it that way if you out here breaking the law, man. So if you out here wilding, man, I strongly suggest y'all, man, just to stay out the way, man. Just makes more sense, man. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is the weekend banger. So what did y'all do with this one? Like, subscribe, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. But it's time for business. It's time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called He Started Charging for His Services. Part 1. Crazy story, crazy situation, but we are aware, people. We in penitentiary, man. Crazy things happen all the time, man. I'm telling y'all, like, you have people in there, man, that just, you know, they just be stuck on stupid. A lot of them, man. Like, you know, a lot of them don't even really be stuck on stupid. A lot of them just be doing what their real truth is, man. A lot of people just be being who they really are, man. Like, sometimes, I know it sounds crazy, but it really takes prison to bring out who you really are, like, sometimes as a man. And it can mean a lot of things, not just crazy being, like, shake, rattling, and rolling type of stuff. Like, it can go for a lot of things, man. But prison is the place where, like, you will see your real self, man. You're not gonna be able to hide from your real self in there, man. It's always gonna come out, man. So with that being said, though, y'all, we on Sussex 2 for this one, man. We on Sussex 2. I remember being in 4C for this one, y'all. When I was at 4C, y'all, so the pod was a regular pod. And, you know, I was used to being over in 4D because that's where I was at before I came to 4C. But, like, being in 4C, you know, it had its perks as well. You know what I mean? The only thing I didn't like about 4C is that a lot of my guys wasn't really over there in 4C. But still, though, somebody like me, y'all already know I know how to bid. So I just kind of just mingled and, you know what I mean, was able to just, you know, just survive in that block. I wasn't really making a lot of noise while I was in that block. And it wasn't really a whole lot going on from other dudes that was in that block. I mean, you had a few dudes that used to touch this and get that and get this. But it wasn't really a lot of super motion. The motion was downstairs in 4D. That's where the motion was at. But for the most part, you still had access to buy whatever you needed. Now, when I had first got in 4C, man, my first roommate in there, man, we're going to call this dude Dink. Now, Dink wasn't from Norfolk, but he was a cool dude. I'm not going to say where he was from, man, but Dink was probably like a little older than me because he was like in his early 30s. But he was still someone that didn't look young, didn't act older, or nothing like that. He was just a regular dude. But when I moved in the room with him, you know what I mean? Me and him was cool off the top because he used to like messing with the La-La. Me and him would go heads up at the Domino's. He had a lot of CDs, you know what I mean? Me and him was cool. I ain't gonna lie. Like going in the room with somebody that got other stuff than you got, it makes it better. Y'all can trade stuff, like, you know what I mean? Having somebody in there that got his own stuff, y'all already know how I like doing my bid. So me and bro kind of like kicked it off immediately. Like we was super cool in the jump. So the whole time Dink was in there, man, like, you know, he kind of minded his business. At first, when he was in there, he used to work on the yard. He had a job on the yard, but he ended up losing his job on the yard from the super police dude caught him pass or something one day, and he ended up losing his job. So after that, he just used to be in the pod. He would gamble from time to time. He would mess with the la. He wouldn't do much, something like basically what I be doing, man. So like, me and him would just be chilling in the junk for real, man, to be honest with you, man. Like, we would kick it sometimes. Me and him would go to the dice game together, tag team game, and see what we can do. But other than that, me and bro just would be chilling, man. Like, you know, like, it was just, I want a whole lot to do in that part like that. And like, for real, I wasn't making no noise with no money. So that's why I was in laid back mode, man. But for real, Dink was the type of person, man, he used to tell me about where he was from. Like, he used to tell me that he had a lot of family, you know what I mean? And like, the family that he used to be talking about, he was like, he had a lot of family that people would say that, you know what I mean, that was kind of like special needs type of family, you know what I mean? Like, he had a few family members that was like special needs, and like, and you already know, like, it be people that come in prison that be with the special needs. Y'all know what I'm talking about, like guys that's slightly a little slow a little bit. I'm gonna use that word. I'm probably using the wrong word because I'm not trying to assault nobody, but special needs, slow, but these dudes are still high functioning. They still can be in, you know what I mean, regular blocks, or they can be out on the street doing regular things. But he said, he used to tell me about his family members that was like that. He used to tell me about a few of them, and they all was like his little cousins. So he was a few of them he used to tell me about that were just wilding out ever since they was in elementary school, and they done went upstate. They done been in trouble forever and ever and ever and ever. Now he's talking about a few of them that then graduated, and now they're on the way to the big house. Now, when you're on your way to the big house, man, like, this is a whole new ball game, regardless if you special needs or whatever the case. It's a whole new ball game. You better know what you're doing when you come to the big house. So he used to always be in fear of that, like bumping into one of his cousins and stuff, because he had another family member that was in one building that he knew. Then he used to know another dude that he grew up with that was in the other block downstairs. So like, he knew a lot of people, and he knew he was going to bump into family members sooner or later. But that used to be something that Dink used to dread, because he knew a lot of them probably wouldn't be able to handle being on a place like Sussex too. So like, you know, after a while of him telling me that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I knew about that. Like, I knew about his family members. But after he told me that, like, you know, I felt bad. I used to always tell him, like, yo, bro, listen, bro, like, if they locked up, it ain't nothing you can do, bro. He was like, man, I know, man. But he was like, it's just crazy. You know what I mean? So lo and behold, man, I'll say like a month later, it was about a month later, man, I came back in from outside rec one day, and they had two new dudes in the block. But when I walked in the block, Dink was at the cell 2 talking to the dude. Now, the dude moved to cell 2, whoever this dude was, I still didn't see who it was, but I saw it was a cart sitting in the front of the joint when we came back in, and I didn't even look at cell 2 when I was going up the steps. But the whole time, my roommate Dink was in there already hollering at bro. You know what I mean? So he came out. That's when I seen Dink was in there. Then dudes was like, yo, you know, some new dudes that's moved out. Like, for real, who? So they pointed down to the tall white dude, and they pointed to the cell where Dink was at. So that's when I seen the little young black dude come out the joint. You know what I mean? Young black dude come out the joint. I see him. You know what I mean? He ain't look suspicious. He ain't look crazy. He ain't look like a psycho or nothing. He looked young, and he just looked like he just was, you know what I mean, happy to see Dink. You know what I mean? So Dink talking to him, but Dink got the serious face. You know what I mean? Dink a little taller, got a little size to him. So Dink talking to him a little bit. You know what I mean? Dink hollering at him. You know what I mean? So after Dink finished hollering at him, he came upstairs and went in his box. He started grabbing stuff. So that's when I walked in the room. I was like, yo, bro, who was that, bro? He was like, oh, he was like, man, see, we done talked it up, Weezy, man. We done talked it up. I said, what do you mean? Talk what up? It's like, man, that's my little cousin that just moved in here, man. Nut, man. He just moved Nut in here, man. I was like, Nut? He was like, yeah, Peanut, Nut. We call him Nut. We gonna call him Nut. You know what I mean? So I'm like, for real? He like, yeah, man. He was like, man, like, I hope he calmed down. Before I got locked up, he was like, man, he was in middle school wilding, man. Like, he was like, I knew he was gonna make it here, man. He was like, look where he at now, man. I said, for real, how much time he got, bro? He's like, man, he ain't got nothing for 5 years. I said, how you get up here? He said, man, because he kept fighting in the jail, fighting the police in the jail. So they ran his level up, you know what I mean? So I'm like, man, that's crazy, man. So he get some food together, you know what I mean? He go downstairs and take it to him. He talked to him for a little bit more. And then it was lockdown time, man. He came back in the cell, man. When he saw me, man, he was like, Weezy, man. Man, he was like, man, I'm mad he locked up, man. I was like, bro, there's nothing you can do about that. He was like, no, man. He was like, but, man, like, with him being locked up and locked up with me, man, like, I gotta look out for him now, Weezy, bro. I said, bro, listen, only thing you can do is what all you can do. I said, you can't do but so much for him, man. You know what I mean? So I said, don't think you gotta do everything. I said, he a grown man. He like, no, man, but that's just my cousin, man. You know what I mean? I was like, bro, I understand that. You know what I mean? So he was a little upset that his cousin moved in the block with him. You know what I mean? A lot of people be happy when they family members moved in the block, man. I promise you, my roommate Dink, man, Dink looked like he ain't really like that activity, y'all. So boom. So he just got quiet through the rest of the time we was locked down. He ain't really say nothing else. Then he finally got up when they were saying Empire Rec was about to happen. So he got up. And he went back downstairs and he started talking to him, you know what I mean? So after a while of him talking to him, you know what I mean? Like he used to holler at him, holler at him, holler at him, holler at him. Like you could tell that, you know, Dink was kind of like getting him right, trying to get him right rather. Like I'm gonna say that, trying to get him right, not really getting him right, trying to get him right. So, you know, he giving him the game, he's telling him what he should do, not to do. And you know, the dude Nut used to look like he was listening for what I could tell. You know what I mean? Like he used to look like he was listening, man. But for the most part, man, like Dink definitely was doing a good thing. So I'll say for like after about a month, let's fast forward a little bit, about after a month of him being in our block, like he started like developing how to bid his way. And when I say that is like he developed going outside playing basketball, which wasn't a good thing. You know what I mean? For somebody that's like him, you know what I mean? Like from what I saw from him, I never really heard him talk that much like that, but I didn't know or could tell that he was a special needs type of guy. You know what I mean? But like playing basketball, I don't think that's the thing that somebody like him should be doing. But he would go out there and do that. He would try to be doing this. He would go outside and try to run. He'd just be doing a lot of dumb stuff. You know what I mean? He'll be doing not really dumb stuff, but the basketball would lead to the dumb stuff. So like that's when Dink used to always try to like tell him, like, you know what I mean? So I can remember one day Dink had called me back over there where they was at talking. So he had him way back there, like when we be shooting dice at. He had him just one-on-one. And he called me back there. He was like, Weezy, look, man, I'm trying to tell him, man, like he in his junk wilding, man, like what he got going on, man. He out this junk. All you want to do is play basketball and get into it with people, and he gonna make somebody hurt him. Weezy, I ain't got time to keep squashing beefs. He was like, man, I'm trying to tell him, man, he need to find him a lane where he can hustle and get some money. You know what I mean? Because that's what it's about. He was like, don't think because you see I ain't doing that I ain't like getting money. He was like, man, listen, I'm trying to hustle any chance I get, man. I take care of myself. I don't be calling home asking for no money. He said, you got to call home and ask auntie. He called his aunt name. You got to call home and ask auntie for money. You got to keep worrying her. You better learn how to get your own money. You better learn how to get your own money, Nut. So Nut was just like, man, I'm about to start getting my own money. He was like, how you about to start getting my own money? He was like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He was like, man, all right, man. You better find you a hustle, man. Because I don't got time to be having you eating up all my food and you keep worrying my aunt every day, man. He was like, that's my mama. That's when I really finally heard him like kind of like really talk for the first time like that. He was like, that's my mama. He used to talk kind of like, you know what I mean? He had a little crazy, he had a crazy little tone to his voice. He was like, that's my mama. He was like, man, look, you better do something. You better find something out, man. So I kind of ain't really know what to say. I didn't know if he was calling me over there for straight or not. So he was like, Weezy, tell him, man. So I'm like, tell him what, bro? I'm like, bro, listen, everybody know how they gotta do their time, bro. Like, that's just what it is. I was like, me, I like to hustle. I was like, you like to hustle. I said, everybody ain't a hustler, bro. So you can't, throw that on everybody, bro. He was like, nah, I ain't throwing that on Nut. I was like, man, see, yeah, he trying to throw it on me. He want me to be like him. I gotta be like me, though. I gotta be like me, Weez. I'm like, man, this was a crazy family conversation right here, y'all. So boom. I let them have it though, man. I was like, man, I'm gonna holler back. Y'all go ahead. So I peeled off from back there. I let them finish having the conversation. When we locked down, he came back in the cell. Like he was real serious about what he was saying. Like, Weezy, man, look, man, that man don't find nothing to do, man. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? He was like, man, for real, man, I'm just gonna go ahead and just let him live his life because he don't listen to me, man. He was like, I'm about to just do the opposite of what I've been doing. I was like, so you basically just not gonna like let him know the wrongs and the rights. You gonna basically just let him do him. He was like, I'm just gonna let him do him. I ain't saying nothing about how he do him. Yeah, we still related and all of that, but he ain't gonna put me in no predicament and he ain't gonna be doing nothing stupid that's gonna put me in a predicament, man. So I don't got time for that, but I'm not saying nothing with him about how he moving or what he doing or whatever the case was. I'm just staying out of it. So I thought about that. I'm like, man, that's like a crazy punishment. Like he went from being a dude that's giving him the advice, which is a family member basically. He's an older family member and he's giving his cousin the advice. But he said he's gonna go from doing that to no advice no more, not even saying anything to him if he's doing something wrong. So this can be a good thing and it could be a bad thing, man. But at the same time, for someone that's special needs, man, like I don't think we should gamble with some stuff like that, y'all. So boom. So again, I stayed out of it. I said, yo, bro, I don't know, bro. You know what I mean? Like the man won't act like special needs to me. So he acting like a grown man that just doing to do him. You know what I mean? So like, you let it be. Now, the whole time in the pod, we had a few shake, rattle, and rollers in there. Y'all ain't gonna lie. We had a few shake, rattle, and rollers in there. We had dudes that shake, rattle, and roll. That was in the cell with a guy that was getting shake, rattle, and rolled on. Now, the guy that was getting shake, rattle, and rolled on, man, like he was a boy. He was in the cell with a dude that I guess was his man. Now, the other dudes in there were just shake, rattle, and rollers. You will see how they interact with the boys outside our pod. And you know that's what they do, basically. You know what I mean? But like what they're doing in our pod, I never really seen them shake, rattle, roll in our pod. I scanned them as soon as I came in. My red laser went bananas. and they pointed out those dudes. So I already know who it was when I first moved in the joint. You know what I mean? So like with them being in there, they never was a threat. They never was people that push stuff at people. They never was disrespectful. They'll never come up to you and try to be some old people, you know what I mean, and try to start stuff when they know it's gonna get crazy in there. They wouldn't do that. They stayed in their lane. You know what I mean? A couple of them was older, a couple of them was my age. You know what I mean? But at the same time, though, they never pushed nothing at nobody. So it was like they wasn't even on that type of time around us. But we knew they was on that type of time. But for the most part, though, man, like, you know, we just had let them do them. Like, you know, everybody, like, just go ahead. We ain't worrying about what they do. We know dude was booed up. We already know the count. Like, we just let them do them. So after a while, after bro was like, yo, he was just going to fall back off Nut and just let Nut do him. You know what I mean? Like, I can remember when I first seen it, you know what I mean? It was crazy because it had threw me off a little bit, man. But I had seen Nut talking to one of the dudes that be shake, rattle, and rolling. Now, it didn't look like dude was down there trying to, like, con him out of his butt cheeks, pause. Like, it wasn't looking like that type of conversation. But, like, they was at the table having a conversation. But the dude Nut was down there drawing something because he used to try to draw sometime, too. Like, he'll come out there. He had bought the little drawing book. He had a little drawing book. He'll be out there drawing, you know what I mean? So he's sitting at the table trying to draw or whatever he doing. But I see the booty bandit dude, you know what I mean? Basically the shake, rattle, and roller dude. He's sitting right there at the table too, and he talking to him. So it went from him to his other man coming to the other part of the table, and then he talking to him. So when I seen it was just bro and the two shake, rattle, and rollers, like, you know, I still didn't really jump to conclusions. I didn't jump to conclusions because I didn't know what they was talking about. You know what I mean? So I'm just seeing, I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, man. So I just stopped looking at it. Boom. I go about my business. I go back in the cell for a minute. I chill. After I come back out the cell to get some ice, I look. They still talking to him. You know what I mean? So I went from them talking to him, you know what I mean? So I looked up and it's the dude that's in the cell with the boy. He's talking to him, you know what I mean? So the dude that's in the cell with the boy, man, he was kind of, he had a little size to him too, man. Like, he wasn't no little dude. He didn't work. He looked like he used to work out, but he had some size to him, man. Kind of light-skinned dude, had a little size to him. He's sitting at the table now. So now the table is full with 4 people, including Nut, man. 3 people, including Nut. And they are talking to him. Now, I don't know what they're talking about, but this is going to be the first time that I'll say that I seen them talking to dudes that shake, rattle, and roll, y'all. So boom. Now, looking at it, I just was trying to see, like, what they was up to, man, because, like, I'm ready to tell bro, but I already know what bro said. Bro, like, yo, he ain't, you know what I mean? He ain't messing around. He ain't trying to, like tell bro what to do with his life. It's his life. He just was getting tired of it. You know what I mean? But just looking at this was making my skin crawl. I ain't gonna lie, because I'm like, I wonder what they up to. Like, you know, I started thinking the worst off the top because I just know dudes like them are trying to take advantage of dudes like Peanut. Now, Peanut won't really like super like crazy to the point where he don't know what's going on. But like, you know, like bro used to tell me about him before he got up there on Susses. And now he's talking to these maniacs. So like now I didn't know what to do except go back in the room and let my roommate know what was going on. I hate to do that because I already know what he said, that he wasn't going back on trying to tell that man how to live his life or anything like that. But I said, man, I have to go back and tell my roommate what's going on, y'all. So boom, I go back in the cell. I said, hey, bro, he was on his bed. I was like, hey, bro, look, we need to come out here and look, bro. He was like, come look what? He got off his bed. He was like, come look what? He jumped on. He was like, look. I said, bro, look out the door, bro. He came look out the door. He was like, what? I said, bro, look at Peanut, bro. He was like, where he at? I was like, right there at the table. He was like, oh. He was like, what are you doing? I said, look who he had the table with. He was like, nah, he ain't going that route though, Weezy, man. Nah, he ain't like that. He ain't like that. Trust me, I know my cousin. He ain't like that. He ain't like that, bro. I said, I know, bro. I said, but why is he at the table talking to all 3 booty warriors, man? I said, what's going on, man? What he got going on? He was like, he walked out. I go out right behind him. So we standing by our cell now. You know what I mean? We in cell 26. We right there. We step out. He like, hey, Peanut. Nut. Nut was like, he was like, come here, man. Come here. He was like, what? He was like, come here, man. Heard what I said, man? Come here. He was like, he put his stuff down. He looked up and see all the booty warriors. They was like, they start looking. They already know why. They like, man, I wonder what he doing. They all looking up. The whole time they looking up, I'm scanning them all like this. My scanner going bananas. I'm like, I already know what time it is with them people. So he come up the steps like this. He like, what, cuz? What's up, man? He was like, what, cuz, man? He grabbed him back and said, man, get the woman, man. You know what I mean? So I ain't even going in the room, but I can hear it because I'm right there. All I hear is Dink say, what's your problem, man? Peter was like, what would I do? He was like, man, why you down there talking to them dudes, man? He was like, oh, who? He called their name. He was like, they ain't doing nothing. He was like, man, listen, you already know what they do, man. Them boys, them people like boys, man. What is you doing, man? He was like, man, look, man. Didn't you say you was gonna mind your business? I thought you said you was gonna mind your business, man. I thought you said you was gonna mind your business, man. He was like, man, look, don't be talking to them dudes, man, like that, man. 'Cause I'm telling you, man, them dudes be up to stuff, man. He was like, didn't you tell me you gave me your word you was gonna mind your business? Didn't you say that? Come on, cuz. Didn't you say that? Dink was like, what you mean mind my business? You think I'm gonna stand around and watch you do that? He was like, who says I'm doing that? See, you always jumping to conclusions, cuz. That's what you're doing. I'm looking back. I'm just hearing this joke like, shh. These dudes having a conversation about shake, rattle, and rolling, y'all. So boom. I'm still in front of the door holding it down, though, being nosy. I'm like this. He like, man, look, I don't care what you do, man, but you ain't gonna do that in my face, man. He was like, man, you gave me your word, cuz you was gonna mind your business. He was like, all right, I'm gonna mind my business. That's what you want? That's what you really want? Dink said, that's what you really want, huh? That's what you really want? All right, I'm gonna mind my business. I promise you that. I'm gonna mind my business. I guarantee you that. Yeah, I'm gonna mind my business. He was like, cuz, look, cuz, I'm about to start getting some money, cuz. He's like, how you about to start getting some money? He was like, look, don't worry about it, cuz. And he just brushed out the door. He went past and looked at me. I looked at him. I was like, this word, when he got like right there and he started hitting the steps going down this way, I was like that jump followed him down the steps. I was like, he went that way. They was like, he has potential. So boom. I already knew that though. Like, I could just tell nobody's gonna hold a conversation like that long with some freaking booty warriors, man. Pause. Like, nobody is. Like I say though, the man's supposed to have a little disability. You know what I mean? So like, you know, maybe he think he's not doing anything wrong. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It went from talking at the table to they called me to the door one day and was like, look, Weezy, look. So I come to the door. Look. He was like, look right there. I was like, look where? He was like, look, cell 8 jammed up. Cell 8 was the cell that one of the booty warriors was in. You know what I mean? One of the main dudes. Cell 6 was the cell that the dude that's booed up with the boy that's in. You know what I mean? So they was all on the same road. So he telling me, look, I'm looking. I'm like, I look. I see the dude that's sleeping in the cell with the boy. He's sliding out of cell 8 like this. He like, So he come out the door. Door said, boom. The door slammed back. He went still by his door, grabbed his coffee, kneeled down like he wasn't doing anything. He was like this. Next thing you know, you see Peanut come out. Peanut came out like this. Door closed. He was like, CO, open my door up. CO opened up cell 2. He went in the jungle. He disappeared. I was like, what? Dink was like, man, what he doing in the cell with them dudes? I said, bro, listen, you already know what he doing in the cell with them dudes, bro. I was like, bro, you acting like you don't know. You already know what time it is, bro. He said, man, what, he a boy now? I said, man, I don't know. I don't know if he a boy. I don't know what's going on, bro. He was like, man, this junk crazy, Weezy, man. This junk crazy, Weezy, man. I can't, man. Oh, man, that junk crazy, man. That junk crazy, man. I was like, I didn't really know what to tell, bro. To be honest with you, man. Like, witnessing a family member take that direction, you know, I'm not saying it's a crazy direction. That's what you want to do with your life. Do that with your life. But like, I just felt my homeboy pain. You know what I mean? Like, he going through this, got a family member going through this. I just was in the cut. Like, I was just looking at him, John, like, man, this is crazy right here, man. This is crazy right here, man. I promise you, man. That man couldn't take it no more, man. That man went downstairs, man, was standing by the junk. That man was like, yo, Nut, come here, Nut. Come here, Nut. Nut, look, he was like, man, I'm about to get in the shower, man. He was like, man, come holler at me before you get in the shower, man. So he came up the joint. So I'm still in the cell, but they in front of the cell. Man, I promise you, man, like, I got up for, I could have stayed on my bed and heard what they was talking about because the door had closed, but I had got up and just went to the sink. This way I could be even more nosy, y'all. Y'all already know I'm nosy. It's my word, man. I get up and go to the sink, start washing my hands, man. So I see Nut come up. He walk up. Man, this time he walked up, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. None of that looked kind of fruity, man. Not like fruity, like super duper, hey girl, like nothing like that, but just like major, like kind of did something was different about him. Something was a little bit different about him, man. That man walked up. Dink said, that's how you moving now, man. Now you going in the room with them, man. That's what you do. He was like, man, I'm getting money, cuz. He was like, what? He was like, man, I'm getting money, cuz. What you mean, man? I'm getting money, cuz. He was like, what you mean you getting money? He was like, hey, Weezy, get the door open right quick. I was like, wait. He was like, man, get the door open, Weezy. I was like, shh. He told me that, walk that direction for the lady won't see him. I hit the button. Lady came on the joint. I said, man, can you let me in? My roommate trying to come in real quick. She was like, that y'all open up. He was like, man, come on. This word. I was like, what you doing, man? He was like, man, let me holler at him right quick. I was like, man, he was like, don't let the door close. So I'm like, what? So I go stand by the door. I'm like this, I got my back to the door. So this word, nut, walk in and jump. He was like, man, what you mean, man, you getting money? What you mean you getting money? He was like, man, you told me find a hustle, I'm getting money. He was like, what you mean I'm getting money? He was like, I'm charging them, cuz.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way, if you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous. Did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments. Get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes.